I apologize to my viewers that I haven't been streaming the last week. With all of the free-to-play coming up, the realms having their issues, um, long queue times, disconnects, all sorts of mess. Plus, on top of that, I've been sick. I'm still kind of got the throat thing going, but I just decided just take a break for a week, not stress out about it, and see if we can get back into the swing of things this week. Things are still a little shaky, especially in the evenings for Europe. The queue times, just as the day goes on and more people wake up and are getting into it, the queue times get longer and longer. So probably Wednesday, it's going to be a kind of a roll of the dice on whether or not I get in on time or at all. Just depends on, I don't really want to get in the morning and to just be forced to hang out the entire day just to make sure that I'm on there at the time that we usually go in on Wednesdays. But fingers crossed that things get worked out a little faster and, we are able to kind of get settled in how things are going to be. I feel sorry for the Carbine team because I know there's a lot of pressure on them. I'm a sub, signature player, so yes, I am paying for my game time, and it is kind of disappointing that, when I want to come in, sometimes I have to wait, a half an hour or more. But it's not the end of the world. I understand there's a lot of things going on, so thankfully, haven't had too many problems with housing. There's been some lag issues in the beginning. We had things like if you place things too fast, then it would buy extras for you, thinking that you hadn't placed something, but that you were actually wanting to buy it or something like that. Especially for those of us that were using Katya's toolkit add-on, but a lot of that has been fixed. She slowed down the placing speed for her add-on to kind of accommodate. Eventually, she will go back up to the regular placing speed, so that if you have a full plot build, you don't have to wait like an hour just for it to do its entire thing. But yeah, there's just been adjustments. It's kind of an expected thing, even long-term MMOs that come out with expansions or big patches like this have their hurdles that they have to hop over. So it's just a frustrating thing. But if you can't stomach it, take a break, step away, come back when things have kind of settled down. So I really haven't gotten too much done housing-wise. I've been, for the past week, I've been able to kind of come in for like 30 minutes to an hour at a time, and maybe just 2 or 3 times a day for that period, where I usually spend a lot more time in game. Hey Bones, welcome to the show. Good to see you. So while I have been able to get into the game periodically, a lot of my time has been trying to get things situated, emptying my mail from all that rune gear stuff that's landed in it. I still actually have quite a few that's sitting in there that I don't have any idea what to do with it. But also collecting all of the signature rewards, getting all that sorted out, making sure everything's like it's supposed to be, all the benefits that should be there. Okay, Bones, no problem. Hopefully you don't get in trouble for watching while you're at work. Anyway, so the little bit of time that I have had for housing, I've been trying to kind of just iron things out, like some of my other plots that had special entryways. I just kind of either cleared that up or extended it a little bit to have it make a little bit more sense with the new position of the teleporter. And of course, I've been working diligently trying to get the Wildball field sorted. Originally, I had just brought in my design that I had set up and was going to go with that, but Katya made some various changes, changed the size of the field, um, positions of some of the items. The tree had to be adjusted because of the size of the plot being bigger. We had to make it bigger, so it had to be moved a little bit, and various other things. And so in the end, she just sent me her version of her Wildball Stadium, and said, "Here, have at it." I did ask her to remove the chairs. She uses the individual Marauder chairs, and I prefer the sofas because I can kind of symbolize the separation of teams. So you've got your home team and your away team, and then you've got the stadium set up so that you have your home spectators cheering for their home team on one side and the other. It doesn't necessarily mean that the people have to sit that way. That's just my vision of what it should look like. So I asked her to leave the chairs off, and she did that. So basically what you see here is what Katya has on her Wildball Stadium plot. You can notice that we did change the ground. She preferred the Celestion because if you switch it to the, I forget, I don't know if it's the default or what, there's a lot of brown dirt patches, but the Celestion one covers it up with like ivy growth, which, maybe if you had the clutter showing, that really wouldn't make too much sense for the field, but it certainly makes it at least all completely green. The only spot that isn't is where the hatch house is located. And for whatever reason, they've decided to, I think used to the hatch house had the same coloring of land that whatever your ground remodel option was. Same way with a lot of your plots. If you had, say, a biome plot or something, it would the bits of it, like the garden stuff, would match whatever ground remodel you had selected. But apparently that's no longer the case. I saw somebody post some images showing where their fab kits and, of course, things like the hatch house are clearly, they're just don't match. Whether that's intended or was just kind of a leftover oopsie when they were making some of the changes or what, I don't know. But Katya kind of likes that there's this little dirt patch where the ball is, because, I guess that would be like where all the action is right at the beginning, setting the ball up. But you can see she's not actually completed the stadium, and I've already added a few things of my own, like for the stadium seats, she's basically just got the skeleton. It looks good from the front, but from the back it's kind of I'm not sure how she planned on finishing it off, but what you see here is what was visible on this side as well. But what I've gone and done is started patching it up to cover up that skeleton bit or whatever. So I just added in some extra hover part pieces to kind of finish it off, to make it look a little cleaner. Whether she does that exactly like that, I don't know what her plans are. Just like I'm not sure what she was intending for over here, like where you see this open over here on this corner, it was also open over here, and I've just kind of closed it up, just of my own volition. As well, I imagine this is supposed to be where the teams come out onto the field, so it's kind of like, I don't know if it's supposed to be like their locker rooms or what, but I'm going to have to figure out how I want to box mine in so that it looks cleaner than it does right now. You will notice that I did manage to save my snack stand set. I actually just placed it this morning and then just moved it over. It was over here, kind of from the old place where it used to be, from the smaller size plots, and then just relinked it and moved it over here. I did change it up just a little bit. I removed the 2 pillars from the back, and the idea is I'm wanting to kind of push it in so that this actually is flush with the wall, but I didn't want to push it in too far. I'm not sure if I'm going to just move it in all the way, or just add some extra pieces to kind of fill that in, that little gap. So what I was doing was I was just go ahead and see about moving that in as an example. So if I just put it in flush, I just wanted to make sure that there was still plenty of room for somebody to actually come in and role play, being a snack stand vendor if they wanted to. It doesn't mean that you have to leave it like that, but I just wanted to make sure that it would work. You can see that the space now isn't big enough, so I'll have to change that up, but I think it'll be all right if I just push it in. The only other thing I was worried about is it might encroach too much into the sink part, but it looks like it'll be all right. So we're just going to go ahead and adjust this a little bit. Yeah, Bones, the famous snack stand. I really need to add some lights. Unfortunately, the hanging lights, the little colored lights that you get, they don't actually give off any light that I can tell, so kind of annoying there. But Kadia's really done a good job of refining her Wildball field, not just the stadium. I'm not really necessarily talking about that. I'm talking about the actual field outline and how the scoreboard works. She's enlarged the scoreboard, and she's changed how it works. Used to, we had to have a bunch of extra pieces just to get that thing to work, and she's fixed it up so that we don't have to have all those extra pieces, which is helpful. When you're trying to save space on decor count, you want to have it all for the stadium decorations. Any little bit of extra, will help. Because, you can't assume everybody can afford those decor count upgrades, or that they have access to that. If they're going to stay a freemium player, then you've got to take that into consideration. So we're just going to send that to create, and then see if we can raise it up just enough. It's a little bit of an annoyance because I had to offset it a little bit, but I don't want it flashing and stuff. So it looks like this will be just about right, with the roofing flush with the wall here, and if I want to clean it up, I'd probably add an extra piece to kind of close that off. I could add a little bit of some kind of a step thing, which in fact, let's see, do we have any of the, what's it called, decking? No. Let's try the stairs. Probably won't need like all of that, just a little bit, but oops. Which reminds me, I should tweet out that I am on. I forgot. I'm not much of a tweeter. I usually just scan it mostly for other people that are tweeting pictures of their houses and talking about housing, because that's really my interest, is housing. Yes, I do partake in rating and all of that kind of stuff, but my main passion in WildStar is the housing. So I try to, you know, show off other people's stuff. So when they're, you know, tweeting about it, I retweet it, but I don't normally do a lot of my own tweets, just occasionally, to let people know I'm still alive and kicking. But let's just close that off for now. I don't want it bogging my stream down. Hey, Sync. Guess it's Maddie. Am I right? Did I remember? I have a horrible memory, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I think that's Maddie. But yeah, while I don't tweet a lot, I do try to, you know, catch everybody else's tweets and stuff. Yay, I remembered. Cheers for me, because that's really, seriously, that's an unusual thing, because I'm very bad about that stuff. Okay, so that looks pretty good. You know, just a couple of steps to get you up in there. Makes it a little cleaner looking. So anyway, that's the snack stand. I decided to just put it out front. I figured if I decide to add maybe some souvenir shops, you know, you've got to have your foam finger and t-shirts and caps and things, then I can probably move this around as I need to. Who knows what else we might decide to add, but I figure all of that could belong out here, and then folks would just kind of trickle into the stadium. I don't know if I'm going to set up some kind of a way to indicate this is where the team players go to get into their lockers, and that this is the way to the stadium's seats. Because right now everything's pretty closed off, except that little area in the back that leads to the locker rooms, and then this area over here. Again, I'm not sure what Katia had in mind for this part here. I assumed maybe a VIP seating, or where the commentator would sit. You don't want to do too much because you don't want to really hide the scoreboard or anything. And you can see she hasn't actually finished it off, so she's told us that we could use whatever we want to box that in to hide it. I have no idea what I'm going to use, but we'll see. But I don't know how we're going to sort this out. In the old version, I did have some canopy stuff going on, but I'm not sure if that will be suitable now that I'm got mine set up like hers with the borders here. It seems kind of unnecessary. Now you'll see there's some blinking here, and that's because I left the original piece that she had there, this outer quarter thing, because I wasn't sure if this curved piece was going to work all right. So I've just kind of kept it and not messed with, so there's some flashing going on for that. But I think what I'm going to have to do first is decide how I'm going to sort out the locker room areas, whether or not that's going to be, you know, how the players are going to get access, how do I indicate which team goes where, that kind of thing. You'll notice too that I have kind of started setting up some stairs. I'll probably do these intermittently, probably one over here, a set, and then another one over here, and then probably one on each end. Because when you're just walking along where she's got it, you actually have to jump to get up because it's not a smooth climb. So I added these extra steps, but that means the way I've done it, I need extra pieces to hide in the sides, and I'm not sure I'm happy with how, you know, using the same textures, because it's almost hard to see especially from a distance, it's almost difficult to even notice if there's some steps there. So a lot of people will just probably be jumping all over the place. But I will probably leave it anyway, because I really don't want something kind of, you know, clashing too much with the materials here. But I've gone ahead and added one sofa of each, and what we'll do is we'll just space them all around. Like I said, Kadi's got like hundreds of chairs, and I decided I wanted to use the sofa so that I can set it up, you know, Team Healer and Team Tank on one side and the other. So yeah, let's, I don't know, there's so many little things to work on. I'm not sure what I want to start with. Probably, like I said, the best thing would probably be to sort out how this locker room, hall, you know, team area will work, so that I can box this in nicely and know where the doors will have to be, so that as I'm finishing off the backing here, that I leave space for it and that kind of thing. So, what to do? Yeah, I think she's got an extra flooring here, so the only thing I don't like is you can see the flooring gappy there. I don't know if she intended that to be the case or what, but I'm going to change that up because it bugs me. So let's see if I can just tuck that in a little bit. So while my stuff is going to be pretty similar to hers, I am going to be, she basically said we have freedom to do whatever we want, however we want to decorate it. The main thing is just to be sure that the goals and such are in place where they should be, and of course the you know, it's mostly just having certain items that you have to have, like it has to be the little sporty sphere and all that for the ball. If I had any kind of sense as far as coding and stuff, I could probably actually change those elements if I wanted, but I don't, so I don't bother. It would just turn into a horrible mess if I tried, I think. Okay, so let's just lay down a duplicate here. Now, supposedly the difference thing was fixed, and if it wasn't, we could use the difference button, but for whatever reason, that isn't working anymore. I don't know if it's just me that's using the tool wrong again or what, but it's not working out like it's used to. I don't know what's causing it to offset anymore. And it could be that I just don't have the latest version of her add-on installed still, because she's been changing it quite a bit over the last week, really. But the last couple of days, she's put out quite a few extra updates to try and fix a lot of the issues we've been having. So it could be I just don't have the most up-to-date version, and that's kind of what's messing up for me. But let's see, that still looks like it's sticking out over here, but not so much, so I'm gonna try and ignore it, I guess. No, I can't. Oh, for crying out loud, I can't move the thing. There we go. It's just that little bit, and that irks me, so yeah. So now I want to line them all up the same, just so it's matchy-matchy. Okay, now I don't know if she had that just exactly flush, so let me just check and see if it looks kind of the same on both ends. It kind of does, so that'll work. So, how are we going to do this? I've never really been good with construction. That one house that I did, that was like the first and only major custom build that I did, and so things like this kind of make me nervous because I don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. Because I'm basically just winging it, trying to figure it out. So let's see. Let me just grab one of these here. And we'll see how it looks. Whoops. But yeah, Katya's been super busy updating this add-on and the Wildball add-on, because I know she's really, I think the main goal is to get that add-on streamlined and packaged up so that she can release it to the public, so that anybody that wants to set up a field is eligible to do that. I do know she's managed to get a second person on to open up a new field. In fact, alone is all I know him by. I've had a little bit of, not exactly contact, but I've seen some of his responses to it. She's got us in a little email group so we can kind of collaborate in issues that we might be having, or questions that we have, and all that kind of stuff, so that we can kind of brainstorm and get the information out to her, and that everybody in the group can know about what's going on. I believe he's open, or yeah, is getting ready to open an entity version for Dominion side, I think it is. As yet, I don't think anybody on Jabbit on Dominion side has offered. I know some people suggested that Olivar might be up for that, but I haven't seen him specifically say, yeah, I would be, so I wouldn't hold my breath on that, but we'll see how it goes. I can guarantee you I won't be doing it. This has been pretty much not a headache, but there's been a lot of work involved in getting this set up and ready. And it's not that it's super complicated, it's just time consuming. And of course, every time she updates, you have to update as well, just to make sure that things are working as they're supposed to. And you know, you just want to have everything ready. And of course, I've been wanting to get people excited about it over on EU side, but it's hard to do that because with all of the disconnects and the lag and everything, there's just too many people frustrated and taking a break because of that. So it's hard to kind of get the momentum going. Because on entity side, apparently they have like tons of tournaments, and you know, there's lots of people always asking her, can you open the field? Can you open the field? We want to play. And like absolutely nobody has asked me to play Wildball. Granted, I may not have been advertising it as much as she does. But part of that is because, like I said, I've been in the process of getting it ready, and it's with the changeover, everything's just kind of had to be reworked and stuff again. So hopefully within the next week or two, maybe if things calm down with the servers and stuff, we'll be able to kind of get people pumped about it again, especially with a lot of the new folks coming in. The only reason I'm not like advertising in chat right now is because you know, I am trying to show a little working on it. But eventually, if we do start getting a good amount of people regularly wanting to play, I'm hoping to stream some of the matches, because it is pretty fun to watch. It's nerve-wracking to play for me, but it's an interesting experience to watch people doing it, because you can't help but kind of, you know, get excited about it. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll box this off. Trying to make sure I get the right little grabber tool, because half the time I've got the wrong one. But aside from the Wildball field, I am in the process of doing a lot of other housing related things. I've got my main plot working on it, but as I mentioned before, that will probably be something I don't showcase on the stream, because it is being worked on for a guild event, and I kind of want to surprise them with how it looks. Wow, that just kind of really borked up, didn't it? So I don't really want to stream it, because I do have the occasional guildmate kind of drop in to say hello, and I don't want them spying or noticing, you know, some of the things coming. I kind of just want to leave it a surprise for everybody. So I'm not going to be streaming that. I will show it later once we've had the event, and you know, in case people are interested in what I did to it. But for now, that's going to just be for my eyes only. I will say that it's a Shadesy theme, but that's about as far as I'm going to go with mentioning what's going on. As well, we do have the CBDC, the monthly custom-built decor challenge that I do for my guild. We did start a new one of those up this month. Again, this month's theme is Halloweenish in its pick. I've asked them to see if they can put together I think it's a Halloween monster or creature. I didn't want to say, hey, it has to be, you know, Dracula or something, or if it has to be, you know, like a giant spider or whatever. I wanted to give them the opportunity to pick and choose and come up with whatever they feel suits that theme. You know, maybe they just, dang it, just keeps warping. Now she's kind of got it fixed. You'll see it as I move it and it warps, and then I let go. Her add-on fixes it, but it doesn't seem to do that all the time. So I'm trying to be careful about what I'm doing here. So that's boxed off. Okay, I just want to check and make sure nothing's kind of sticking out up here where it shouldn't be, which it looks like it is. I have to fix that a little bit. But as soon as I kind of figure out what I might want to try for that challenge, I will probably be showing some of my building on that as well. That'll be on my alts plot. I'm going to have to resize that, I think. But that one I haven't even visited their plot, so I don't know what kind of mess it's in. I don't think it was going to be too much I got to change, because I think that's where the bingo hall is and the swimming pool and all that kind of business, so I'll probably just end up clearing most of that off. I may leave the bingo hall because we actually did use that for a guild event. I did some bingo games for my guild, and they seem to, for whatever reason, I had originally come up with the idea to do the event because I figured, well, I wanted something that didn't require people to go to a certain location. That way they could just play wherever they happen to be. If they're out in the middle of who knows where, they could still play. But as it happens, my guildies just kind of on their own congregated on the place. So I thought, well, what the hey, you know, I'll probably leave it up, and they seem to really enjoy the game, so I'll probably have more of those. But okay, that looks a little better, a little smoother on the things. The only difference is the orientation of the wood. Not going to match just because of how it's set up. I could probably get it to if I use different pieces, but mostly I'm just looking for ease of just, you know, blocking it in. The bigger the better that I can get away with, the less I have to kind of Tetris all these pieces together. I'm thinking what I'll probably do is close this off with a section that kind of reaches to about here, so that there's going to be like a door here and a door on this side, and then I'm going to somehow mark it so that, you know, with letter H for healer and T for tank, or I don't know how I'm going to do it, but some way I will denote which team goes where, and then from there it'll be fine, sort of. But I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of space. I don't want to have like this huge long corridor or anything. I think we're just going to box it off right here and call it good. The thing is, because you don't want stuff sticking out in your stadium seats, it's probably going to take quite a few pieces to kind of stair step it down so that it's all closed off like you want. So we'll try that. We've got a lot of extra pieces, you'll see. Now, you'll notice that I'm using a combination of Katya's add-on and Lamenth's. Lamenth did upgrade or update their add-on. It's called the Housing Decor Set Manager, I think is what it's called. And then there's the Housing Pro Tool, I think is what it is. And I believe that's what this is the Housing Pro Tool. And I've been using a combination of both. I like Katya's for some of the extra gadgets and things that she has on hers. But as far as like duplicating and copying, I don't know. I just kind of gravitate to using this one more. It really is just a preference. If you just want to use Laments for everything, you know, that's your prerogative. If you want to use just Katya's, that's also okay. I just happen to use them in combination with each other. So you'll see, while this looks good down here, and it'd be fantastic if I could get away with that, it's not going to let me do that. So what I will do is just kind of push this in. And then we're going to sink it down. That little rotation bug is super annoying. Okay. See, we kind of had to stair step it, but at least it's blocked up a little bit more. So duplicate it again, move it out. Right here so I can see what I'm doing. think we'll be able to get away with just keeping it level there. No, I'm gonna have to bump it up. It's just the way we've set this up, it's kind of a frustrating thing to work with, just because of the stair step effect. And the pieces that we're using aren't exactly ideal, so. Come on. Okay, I think that's all right. Have a look. Yeah, so one more to close this, finish closing that off. Now, if you see the camera jittering, that's just because of how I have my camera. I tend to play with my camera zoomed out almost as far as I can go. I just prefer that. I don't have to like have a close-up of my character's, rear end all the time. So when I have that set up that way, and then I go into some place that has a low ceiling, it kind of agitates it, so it does that jittering thing. Okay, so that should be boxed off nicely. Yeah. And I'm going to leave these bits because I think that'll work out nicely for like shelving or some sort. Maybe some cots or something for bedding, in case a player gets injured or whatever. Obviously that's not going to happen, but just for making sense sake, we'll call it okay. Could add some lockers, like ship hand lockers or something for in here. Some med kits, that kind of thing. Who knows what else you could add. Probably we'll keep it simple. Just some basic stuffs. Okay, so essentially we have to repeat that on this other side to get it sorted. So let's just copy. Excuse me. How I ended up with so many extras, I'm not sure. It might have had something to do with when I was placing this whole set. Pardon me. There was some lag going on, so I might have accidentally bought some stuff, even with her slow placement being in works. Excuse me. Forgot to bring a glass, so I'm just like slurping it like a slob out of the bottle. But I'm trying to find where the end of that. There we go. But you can see her add-on kind of does its best to correct that, but every now and then it kind of acts like it doesn't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these a piece at a time and move them over. Now I could try and link them all together and then move them as a linked set or a linked copied set or whatever, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I just rather piece by piece. It feels safer to me, just because of some of the things I've been noticing the last couple of days. I just would prefer to kind of do it one at a time. It's just weird to see that warp and then it goes straight back. How she just figured out the code for that, I don't know. I imagine it's something to do with the original settings, and it just automatically remembers to reset to those original settings or what. But whatever she's done, it's a very welcome addition to her toolkit, because having to go in and calculate and punch in all the numbers for how it used to be, that was very, very annoying. Whoops. Okay. And I will say this, she's very open to any suggestions that builders have for additions to her toolkit. If there's something you feel that it's missing or that you'd like to see someday incorporated, you know, drop her a note. She's got threads both in the forum, and then there's a discussion thread on Curse itself where her add-on is downloadable. She's always eager to hear feedback for that. So, you know, she's the more she can improve her toolkit for everyone, the happier she is. Is very delighted to get that out and available for people. Okay, so if I got this right here. See, it's weird how that doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Not that I want it to warp, I'm glad it doesn't, but it's just weird that some pieces do and some pieces don't. I don't know what triggers it to do that. You know, some felt that it had to do with the bunker house. But in my experience, whenever it happened around the bunker house, it was always usually right around the entrance. Of course, some would probably argue that this is maybe where the old entrance used to be. I don't know. All I know is it behaves strangely sometimes with certain pieces warping and others not. It's just... Okay, so I'm trying to see where we are. I think it's got two large ones, but I'm gonna have to do this one first, I think, for the curved full pipe. And it did as I suspected. It probably didn't place it right where the other one used to be, so I need to sort that out first, I think. And what I'll probably do is just turn it like I need it for the other side. And then move it over. Because I still have, basically what I did is I took the corner piece and I matched it up for that and there. Really hard to see the handles for those. So it's kind of pretty close to the one that she's already got there. So we'll go ahead and drop that in. Gonna double check to see if the height is the same because that one looks lower. Need to go out a little further so I can actually select the right piece. That's at 1490. It's the same, so maybe there's just some little discrepancy in the other piece. Okay, so then I need another a pipe piece to go in, fill in this gap here. We'll just drop that in. And tweak it a little bit so that it's not doing that flashy stuff. Okay, so that looks all right. Now we have this kind of almost completely boxed in area. So now we have to figure out how we're going to do this next part. I figure we'll probably just bring this and make it smaller, I guess. Well, about, I guess, this height here. And just kind of fill it in. Thankfully, we have lots of extras of those, so let's just pull this out. And then we're going to shrink it. Wow, that really is pretty big, isn't it? Maybe we'll turn it this way again. Through. That almost works out pretty good. So we just need to pull this out here. Like so. I'm gonna place that and then I'm gonna move it again. Sometimes just to make sure I don't really work something up. If I like how something is sitting, I'll make sure I place it so that that part is saved, and then I'll move it again just to adjust it. So again, just checking to make sure, you know, you can still walk in. Seems to be okay. And then we just need a, hopefully just one more to fill in the rest of that. Now, looks like we're gonna need one more. Never works out exactly. So then we've got to bend a little bit. Oh, come on, and move. There we go. And move with that. Look it out a little bit. So you can almost not see it, sort of. Not so bad, I guess. A little better. I mean, it's still kind of offset, but not like a super amount. So here you have one locker room, and then on the other side. So we still need to finish this off a little bit. Okay. Drag this over. And the main worry is probably going to be like what's sticking up above. I'm gonna drop that. I'm gonna select again so I can make sure I see it clearly. Yeah, see, not gonna work. So we're gonna tuck this back in. Oh, that's not gonna work that way either. Let's see. Not even this. That looks alright, I guess. Let's try one of these pieces for this roof. Do it that way. Need something big and flat anyway. We'll just kind of set it up like so. Hey Samson, glad you could join us. Nice seeing everybody again. I missed you guys. Even if you didn't miss me, I missed streaming. Okay, so there's that. Getting kind of cozy. Another. Not sure if this is going to work out really nice, but oh well. Okay, so that's one little locker room there. At least for that part. We still gotta sort out this part here, how we're gonna fix it. Now we need to do the same thing on this side. Mostly just boxing it in, trying to get it all enclosed. So we'll copy or duplicate this one, stretch it all the way to over here. So see where the gap is. In the middle. Now, one more time. That. Gonna just double check and make sure nothing looks kind of weird out here. I think it's okay. It should be okay. We had the one side sorted and we were just extending it out, so I think it looks all right. Now we need to add these ceiling pieces in, like we did on over there. So pop that in there. I'm gonna check real quick to see what the height of these are, just to make sure. 40. That was pretty close. So, how are your guys' houses coming along? Are they still kind of borked from the changeover, or have you actually spent some time getting it all spruced up? Like I said, I really haven't had too much time to doodle around. I did get this set that Katya sent over installed, and now we're just kind of making some adjustments to it. But even my my main plot, I had made a copy of it in PTR, and I did get that transferred over to Live. So whatever I did in PTR is actually there now, but I really haven't had a whole lot of opportunity to add to it since the realms have been available, because like I said, half the time I'm fighting the lag monster and half the time I'm spending sitting in queue. So yeah, Samson, that's pretty much what I did for probably the first 3 or 4 days last week, just going through that horrendous account inventory thing, trying to claim what I could. I still got a lot of things that I haven't claimed because I just don't have the space for them. It's, you know, not that I don't want to claim them, it's just I just don't have the room. Okay, I think that is good for this one's side. Just gonna double check again. It's always good to check and recheck and triple check. Okay. So I don't know what would be good here. I think I'm just gonna leave that for now until I decide if I want to box that off completely and just have the... Would that make more sense? Probably. Oh, good. I'll just... Oh, well, I love... are you talking about the little village that you made? I love that one. I do. I thought it was awesome. I'm surprised I didn't get a better reception with the judges in the competition, because I really did like that one. But again, it's one of those, I don't know, it's strange how some certain things impress certain people and others, they just don't have that same, I don't know what to call it, but I'm glad it wasn't as badly hit. I was curious if there was going to be a lot of adjustments required for that one. I know a lot of my guildmates have been trying to sort out theirs and finding certain things to be a little bit trickier than they anticipated. But it's just one of those things, you gotta kind of go with it, I guess. Let's see, I think we'll leave that one there. Add in an extra one. I'm hoping that the smaller size I'll only need 2. Yeah, I hear a lot of people talk about how they get attached to their plots and it's kind of hard for them to let it go. And I can sympathize, but thankfully, you know, with Katya's add-on, you could actually save the set. So even if you decide to scrap it, you could always recall it and bring it back and tweak it and then save it again and then put it in the closet for a little bit. But It's just, you know, be prepared for a long wait, because especially until she gets the placement thing, the speed of it a little faster again. It does take a long time to place everything. But and it's not just Katya's toolkit that does that now. Like I said, Lament has updated their housing decor set manager add-on, and I think its original design was for set making, and I think some of the logistics behind how the housing thing worked prior to this latest patch just didn't accommodate that kind of programming. But according to Katya, once they changed the things they did in drop 6, that just opened up, you know, the possibilities that it's much more much easier to kind of code that kind of stuff. So I'm sure that's what led Lament to update theirs. I haven't actually used Laments for any kind of sets. I'm used to using Katya's, so I just stick with that one. But I do know that the interfaces look different. Laments comes up as a little pop-up box. It looks, you know, more integrated into how WildStar's little tools are kind of designed and set up. But like I said, I'm so used to Katya's now. You know, while I don't use everything that it has to offer very regularly, I'm comfortable with hers. So the only difference is that I do use the duplicate tool, because it pops up and it's like right there and you want to touch it. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking about that, Maddie, with it's weird. Supposedly the interior of the bunker house is instanced separately from the exterior of your home. So supposedly the two never meet, but I have experienced exactly what you're describing, where if you enlarge something big enough and position it in a certain way, it will appear in your bunker house. I had that with Thovan's plot, the one that I did for the underground lab. The lake thing that I used, the glowing space suite, I had enlarged it like humongous to make this lake for him, and I turned it a certain way, and when I went down inside the bunker house, there was this big glowy thing on the side of the wall. I was like, I didn't put a light there, did I? I could remember. I was like, how? And I was going through like the place decor list looking for all the lights to make sure I didn't put one in the wall accidentally. And eventually I figured out that it was part of the glowing space suite sticking inside the house. And I'm thinking, how is that? Why is that doing that? So I ended up having to change the position of it just to get it to not show up. But yeah, that's an issue. It's just one of those weird, quirky things that you discover, and you have to learn to work around. Okay, so now I'm just going to drop in one of these to close off the end, so that people aren't walking through that little tunnel there. I'm just needing to make sure I've got the position right. It's just wanting to warp so bad. Keeps just jiggling around. Okay. Why does that look like it's getting smaller? Oh, because it's warping. See how sometimes it fixes it, and then other times, I think it's because I moved it with the arrow instead of the dragging. That's unfortunate, but just one of those things. Yeah, that would be nice. I would love, there's been a request for like landscaping decor for quite a while now. People wanting little hills, like, sand dunes and little grass-covered hills or ravine kind of things, and even like having negative space being worked in so that you can have a pit or a pool space, a hole or whatever. But whether or not we'll get those, I would like to hope that eventually we will, because I think the um, the prop guys have realized just how um, crazy we can get with some of this stuff, and I think they're just as interested to see what we come up as we are, and I think we'll see more and more of that, because like with the new particle effects decor, like the track of fire and the lightning strike, I really imagine we're going to get a lot more of that as well, which will be fantastic, because how many times do you want some kind of steam effect, but you don't want that cruddy blue flare light glowing, nearby, or having to accommodate hiding that little piece or whatever. Well, fiddly. I'm gonna have to enlarge that, I think. I think that's what's messing it up. So yeah, there's a lot of things they can do to kind of give us more tools and more things to play with, and I think that will come eventually. I just don't know when. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. I just assumed they were more like a whole, a separate instance where there was like no possibility of contact. But apparently there is. If you get crazy enough with the sizes of your decor, then there is a chance that it will show up. I'm gonna see if I can push that in a little bit more. There we go. Then we're going to duplicate it and just drag it across. Fill in the other side. That looks pretty good. Now, strangely, that's not exactly. Let's see. What is that? Hover Park Long. See if I can find the one that's actually sitting right behind there. Where are you? No. No. Uh-oh. Looks like we're going to be having a nightly server restart. It's become a nightly thing. So yeah, 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, or less than 10. Well, they said two different things, so I don't know. I'm gonna guess it's in 10. So here in a bit, I guess we're gonna be going off, and I'll have to check and see if they've got a mention of like how long they're intending that to last. Oh, yeah, it's like, woo, a restart. I know why they're doing it. It's supposed to alleviate the lag that people have been experiencing. I have noticed I don't see the, after you, before I would be like on my plot, and like after 5 or 10 minutes, I would start having that like a really big stutter of what was going on. I don't notice that now, which is a real big plus. It's just this overall lag that's kind of eating away at us. So yeah, let's see. One good tip too, if you're using an umbrella tree as your ground, be careful when you have the toggle edit mode on. Sometimes I will accidentally be trying to, click to move, and I'll accidentally move the tree, and thankfully just canceling that usually fixes it, but you never know. Yeah, it's one of those things, it's a have to kind of thing, but it's not like you're gonna enjoy it. Oh well, we'll just make do. So there's the two locker rooms for the teams. Like I said, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to kind of designate which locker room is for which team. Probably just go with like how I have the seating set up. This will be the team healer side, and that'll be the team tank. And I'll put something green out here near the door so that players coming in, if they want to come in through this way, they can just kind of go, oh, that's where I'm supposed to, that kind of thing. Not a have to. A lot of people will just jump over and be done with it, but just for those that, want that immersion into their little activities, gotta have to have those little details in there. Well, I'm impressed that you're even thinking about ruining Samson. I have not touched that. I've looked at countless guides, both video, written, for those just ruining in general, for those specific to my class, and I am still completely confused about that. Because I guess it's because I'm scared, because I know the cost has gone up to do that. So I don't want to make a mistake. And you know me, I'm like the worst at gear and stuff, so I just know I'm going to make a mistake, and it's going to cost me even more to correct it or get it corrected. So I'm just kind of leery of working on it. I'm just kind of chicken. Well, like I said, I do raid with my guild. In fact, they have a raid set up for Friday and Sunday, which usually I go on Sundays, but I may just have to sit this one out because I'm just not prepared. I have been doing some contracts with like the expeditions. It goes a little slower because I don't kill things as fast as I used to, but I haven't like had any issues with like dying or anything. Granted, that I usually go when there's not a whole lot of lag going on, so I don't have lag deaths and that kind of thing. But just generally going around and trying to kill stuff, I can see that they're not dying as quick as they used to, and I'm sure that's packed up to me not being ruined at all. So I'm hoping that ruining, if I end up figuring out how to do it properly, then that will boost that a bit. But oh, your first one. Well, how did you like it, Bones? Which one did you pick? I love doing the veteran expeditions. Because my favorite is the infestation one. It's pretty quick. You can get through it and get your contract completed. I've usually tried to do the top tier one, but like I think on my main I've got the one for the world boss. I didn't get a hold of it until like I guess everybody else completed it because nobody's going to those bosses, and I've still got it. But like when they have the Grove event, is it? Or I think yesterday was Lightspire event. I definitely try to get in on those, but it's always best to do that right when it changes over, because then everybody's going for that. And oh yeah, I don't know. I typically don't do those. It's probably I'm just lazy. But what I do is I check to see what the higher tier ones are. Like say it's a Starcom event, and if one of those ones like that happens to say it's maybe Elden Constructs or Marauders or something, then I pick that up as well, because I'll already be in the area that has that. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like just the kill this mini kind of thing. Those are pretty good. I know a lot of guildmates that farm those, but like I said, I usually don't do it unless I have another contract that's already looking for that. Like I'll do that one, and like maybe the one that does the where you have to have the triple kill or the super kill so many times, then I'll go for those. Okay, you can see I'm kind of doodling around because I'm not really looking to start up another little section, because we're going to be getting knocked off the realm here very shortly. But I don't know. I'm going to have to see what Katya's plans were for this little stage area. You know, maybe this is where they have like the first and second and third place kind of awards for like if you have a tournament here. Nope. Next message, 7 minutes. I'm gonna have to see. Well, see, that helps. That helps. If you're already going to an area that's got them, then that justifies it. But I don't do like some of my guildies. They actually farm those little things. Let's see. I'm looking to see if I can find out how long this thing is going to be. It said it was like a restart, so it shouldn't be too long. I don't see anything specific. Just that there's going to be lots of them from time to time. Yeah, exactly, Samson. To me, it's not worth it just to do those, you know, to go specifically to a zone just for that. If I've got other ones that I can do in conjunction with it, then yeah, I'll go ahead and do it, but not just standalone stuff. Okay, so let's see. I guess if we can get back, we'll work on finishing up going around the back end and finishing up the edging for here. See. Since I already got this one in place with the corner now, I could go ahead and extend the straight edge here. That should work all right. Let me just, we got a few minutes. I'll try and grab a set piece, something. May have to figure out a better way to offset these so they all kind of match the lines. Yeah, I don't know if they're the same as before. 5 minutes, folks. 5 minutes. Let's see if I can put down at least a couple of pieces. Well, see, now it says scheduled maintenance. Earlier it said restart, so I don't know which is which it's going to be. It could be, you know, most of their maintenance are anywhere from an hour to 30 minutes to an hour or something. So I don't know. Have either of you seen where they're talking about how long it might be? I checked the server status section, but I didn't see anything new. I don't know. Oh, well, I have my realm sound down, so wow, they're counting it down minute by minute now. Let's see. I'm probably being a bad player by continuing to work while this is getting ready to shut off, but anyway. We'll see, we'll see. I mean, if on the 3-minute mark, I guess they'll probably send another message. It's like the end of the world. Trying to see. They say check the forums, but I don't see anything specific about this. Ah, 3-minute mark. I don't know. So, if we don't get to come back anytime soon, I will probably just, save it for tomorrow. But I appreciate you guys coming in. It's good to know that folks are still around and trying their best to cope with all of the issues that we've been experiencing over the last week or so. It's great that we have a lot of new people in, but it's just a bit of a strain, and folks will not only have to have patience with the game, but with each other. If the maintenance or whatever it is going to be short, then I will try and get back in, but no promises. So if I don't see you again today, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll definitely be here tomorrow. Like I said, my goal is to continue where we left off. Last week was just kind of a fluke with the free-to-play stuff coming in and all the problems we were having, plus I was sick. Still sick, but feeling much better. So we'll just kind of pick up where we left off. As far as Wednesday tours, I'm not sure if that will go through as I hope, because a lot of people have their houses shut off from public viewing right now while they fix them. A lot of people just haven't bothered fixing yet because they haven't had a chance to get in and work on that. So that may be something that will have to be delayed a little longer. But I have been working on some stuff in conjunction with WildStar Core, so I did do a spotlight there with ZZ's plot. So if you have some free time and want to check it out, for those that watch my videos and stuff, there's probably not a whole lot of new information, but I did do an interview with her to just kind of ask some tips and things, and it's just interesting reading. But looks like we're going to be going off, so hit you guys later, all right? And have fun, and we'll see you later.